Good morning, everyone. Jill here, and today I want to give you an update on my my Field Notes Lapbook. My Field Notes Lapbook. I've got a bit of things completed. I made some changes, so I thought I'd jump on here and give you a quick update on where I'm at and where I am headed. So, as you know, I wanted a lapbook was small enough to hold and in your lap. So I have the cover done, but I don't have it's not, of course, decorated yet. And I think I told you I wanted some flip flap. I wanted to be able to put a signature in there, so I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So I managed to make my book that would open up. Now I use Tyvek on the outside of any books that I either make or redo because Tyvek's a very strong and durable product. You can find Tyvek. Well, I had a lot of old mailing envelopes that were Tyvek, so I will open this side first. This is the back. As you can see, we're going to open up, and then we're going to open up again. So this will all be decorated with what have you, and I'll show you that as we go along. So right here is where I'm going to put a signature, and I'm starting to put some pages together. I think what I've decided to do is make one signature for each season. So there'll be 4 signatures. They will be rather small because, and I'll tell you why, because as you can see, there's not going to be much room for them to fit in there. Okay, so they will be small, but this one has 24 pages of front and back. And I think that's probably big enough. So 24 pages, front and back. It will have a midori style binding, which I should have done the next time that we meet, in there. So on this side, I'm going to scoot it over now, is where I have done some work and made some changes. Okay, I'm going to close that side up because we don't need it anymore for right now. Okay, I decided the papers I had picked out by Louisa, which I love, are a lot of fall colors. And I thought, well, what is my goal? My goal is to have a lapbook that I can use year-round for different seasons. I think my signatures are going to take care of the different seasons. We will have 4 different seasons. We will have 4 different signatures that can be slid in and out of here. And then I looked at the papers, and I love her papers, but I felt like to make the whole journal a fall colors was going to be, I didn't think I wanted that. I wanted something more neutral and more general in nature. So I decided that we're going to do Into the Fields. So we're going to go into the fields. And this paper, hold on a second, let me get this out for you. I decided to use Art Whimsy's Rural and, I've cut into this, Rural and Rustic papers. I can show you a few. As you can see, I've cut into a bunch of these to do what I have done so far. And I have a couple over there sitting waiting to work on. I'll let you glance at those first. But I am in process of making some things with this little girl. That's also an Art Whimsy Dreamers kit. And I have her looking into the field. And over here, I have her looking at a sign that is going to be pointing her the way. And I think Into the Fields is a great name for my journal, and we will have these rustic images for backgrounds and for journal cards, and even for my botanical field notes pages. So leading up to that, of course, I made this little page. I attached a little flower here and some cheesecloth, and this is going to open up. Now this is going to be backed with something which I don't have done yet. But then when you open up, you're going to find this little flap. And what we have here is we have a pocket here. And then I got carried away and I started making things for inside the pockets, which is what has taken me so long and distracting me. I made a little pocket here. And let me just put that back. And this is a pocket, doesn't have anything in it right now. And this is also a pocket and doesn't have anything in it right now. So we will put in field note specimen cards and things like that. This here, I'm going to flip. This is a tab, so we'll put some kind of label on there. And this here with the birds is the top of an envelope. So as I come over here, let me move the book over just a pinch. There we go. So come over here. This is going to open up, and then we'll be able to put things in here. And then I have put background papers on this, and there's a background paper on here. So that will have some elements on it in the form of pockets, labels, and tags. Then when it's done, this will fold up. This will be a midori style signature. Can't wait to do that. Maybe I'll do that next. And then we will open it up into more goodies and wonderfulness as we go along. And keep in mind with all this, and even with it filled up, I think we're going to have plenty of room for our signature. It's going to be just big enough. It sits in my hand really nicely. Actually, let me give you the measurements. I think it's 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 by 5.5. Very close to 6. Oh no, wait. Yeah. So that's how far I've gotten and what I worked on, and I hope you're going to love it. I think I'm going to love it. When I was doing this, I just had so much fun, and I thought, oh, I got to do a couple little things for these pockets. And that's when you get into the little nitty-gritty, turn in a little notepad into and sticking it in a tiny little pocket. Isn't that sweet? So there you have that. And this is another little notebook stuck in a pocket. And if you don't want it that way, you can certainly put it that way. So we'll be filling these pockets up later in the journey to the finish line. So that's all I have for today. I wanted to show you where I was at. I have a couple other projects going on that are taking a little bit of my time, but I am having so much fun doing this. Now that I settled on these rural and rustic, I probably should show you a few of these. I'll show you in the 4x6 sizes. Here, I don't know if I've used any of these, but I just I have to lift my camera up. But you can see I've cut into a couple of them, depending on what the size I need, and I don't have to use the whole thing. I can, if I want to highlight just some barren trees. Now, I did think that while I'm talking about the signatures being one for each season, there will be some type of decorative enhancement on the signature so that you'll know if it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. And that'll also be how I stamp should be seasonal. My botanical note cards and field notes tags will be indicative of what season it is. So long way to go, long journey, but I so look forward to it. And I look forward to taking you along with me. So I hope you enjoy. And if you get a chance, go out to Art Whimsy, her Dreamers, I don't have that kit handy. I just had those couple of Dreamers that I pulled out. That will definitely go into my book somewhere. And go out and look at her things. They're just beautiful. She does a great job. And I pulled out these butterfly things, which I may use as well. So we'll see as we go along. But anyhow, that's where I'm at. My desk is messy. And for those who know me, know that pretty soon I'm going to have to clean it up because I can't find anything when it's messy like this. So I wish you a very good rest of your day. Hope you do something you love. And until next time. Good morning, everyone. Jill here. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I'm back in the second half of this video to show you a few little things that I've done and work on some stenciling, which I'll have to get all my things out because I'm not really prepared this morning. Oh boy. Okay, well, in the first part of this video, you saw how I put this part together with the little flap, the flower. I won't spend time. I did add this pocket here, and of course you saw these pockets, so we won't go over this. And I mentioned in that video that maybe I would put the Midori style binding and the pages in next. So let's talk about that for a minute. So in the first part of this video, you saw how I did the spine. I'll pull this away for a minute so you can see. Put two, I don't know what you call those, rivets. They're not rivets, they're eyelets, I guess, there. And I used long ones. I used rather large ones, so they would be very strong. Let me show you what that looks like on the outside. So it will look like this on the outside, and eventually this material will wrap. And I'm thinking about putting beading here. I'm not sure because it's going to be, since it's a field notes lap book, I'm not sure I want beads on the outside there because it would be hard to lay flat. Okay, so the next thing I did, excuse me if I sniffle, I've been out in the yard working, and I think I have a little bit of pollen that gets in my nose. It makes me sniff. So anyway, I put some papers together. These are nice. They are different kinds of paper. Little envelope here. I have to glue that down. Let's do that right now because then I don't have to worry that I forgot it later. I could have left this open and done a top tuck envelope, but I think I want it to be side, and until I decide that, I can always reopen that again. I'm not going to worry about that. So I put some pages together. There's actually, and I think I might leave that in an envelope, but I'll explain why later. So then I have a few more pages. So remember, I'm doing this as seasonal. So this would be like for one season. Let's say spring, summer, or fall, one of those, or winter. So anyhow, after you make the holes, run elastic through there and through the center of your signature. Now my signature, I did a couple things. I sewed my pages together with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, like you could see there. I think you could see that. Let's see. There we go. 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Then, because this is a Midori style binding, there tends to be a lot of pressure here and here where the elastic is coming up through. You can see it. You can see it here, how it puts pressure at where those elastic meets the paper. So what I did was I took a little paper punch and I punch a little divot out of the top and the bottom, and you can see it takes that pressure off up there. The other thing I liked about using these bigger eyelets is you can put in additional elastic centers and add additional signatures. So if you wanted to put all 3 in or 4 in, I suppose you could. In my take on it is I was a little worried about how thick it was going to be because I still wanted it to close nicely. But it seems like I might have room for a second one in there, which would make it a 2-season at a time. So that's where I'm in with that. And I want to do some stenciling or add something seasonal. I will decide a season for this signature, season for the next signature, etc. I like to do something seasonal for a little bit of stenciling or a little bit of decorating on these pages. Not every page, but some of the pages, because it is field notes. So we'll see what I come up with. Okay, and the other thing I made, and I kind of like these because I'm definitely going to be using these, is I made these little tags so you could write on them. So, and I'm not going to do too much decorating on them because they're meant to be decorative or functional. They're meant to be functional. I had these little tags, so I Distress Oxide the outside of these, and then I just spritzed with water, which creates that effect. And I made little note cards, which if you go out into the woods and you want to write on these, you certainly could write on these. And then you could bring them back and attach them to a page. This isn't colored, so it's hard to see them. Let me use another envelope just to show you. So you could attach them to a page, and how cute would that be? And now you've got your description, your notes or whatever, and then you could always do your drawing on the page here. That's what I was thinking behind that. But I attached everything, punched holes, attached everything with flower stamens. Can you see those little flower stamens? Sure you can. Aren't they cute? And I thought, oh, that would be cute in a field notes book. So, and I left the strings on. You certainly could take them off. It's not a big deal if you don't care for those. So these will also be inside of the journal, either in pockets. I don't think I'll attach them permanently because wherever this journal lands, I would hope that they would enjoy these little tags and put them where they wanted as they wanted. So there you have those. I just love the Distress Oxide, and I'm not a good mixed media person. However, by good I mean some of the experts out there are massively impressive. But I do like a little bit of oddity now and then, and this creates a nice little effect. 2, 3, 4. There would be one for each little journal, each little signature. If that's where you chose to put them, you could put them on another page within this journal. And this one I did also with some Distress Oxide, but I thought I would make it a different color. So now I probably will go back and make some of these extra because I did kind of like the blue with these papers, and even with that green. I like the blue. Oh dear, let's go this way. I like the blue with these papers, like that. So we'll see how that goes. But I may make some more of these. That only allows one per signature or pages, and that's probably not bad. Again, I'm talking about bulk. I have to get closer to the end of this journey, and I'll be able to see how much I have on each of these sections. Now, okay, I'm running into a little challenge here. Let me set these up here. I'm running into a challenge here. Perhaps some of you have some ideas. I love this paper. This is Roxy Creations. I want to say one of her background kits. Wonderful paper she has, and I was quite surprised when it went so well with this paper from Art House Whimsy. But I'm coming into a challenge here where you can see a lot of these are highly patterned papers, and so for decorating, I'm not sure what I want to do just yet as far as decorating. So when I get to another page like this, I feel like I'm too far along, or I'm not far enough along yet to decide what's going to go here. So I tried to pick out some papers that would kind of go with this, that aren't too patterned, that have basically a muted background kind of thing. And I thought, well, maybe I could pick some of these to use as backgrounds so that whatever we put on for enhancements it would lend the eye a resting spot, and then to move on to some enhanced pages, pockets, etc. So I may do that. I want to incorporate certainly some field note pages and diagrams, and I have some rub-ons that are perfect for this. So that's my challenge right now. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to get out some rub-ons and think about putting some rub-ons on here. I love rub-ons. They're exquisite. Now, to write or to draw on this paper, it seemed easier to do it with this flat. So just excuse me 1 minute. You'll hear my squeaking chair, and I'm going to go get some of those rub-ons I'm talking about. Hi, Evan. I have my little doggies with me today. They help me do a lot of my crafting. Of course, Evan picks up the droppings on the floor and decides that he's going to help me craft, and that's another whole story for another day. But lovely as he is, sometimes he can make a mess. And I have a bunch of these. These came from, I think these are Taperology, but you can see I have fall here. Green would be spring. I have some flowers. I have a lot of selection. So I thought, let's see what these ones are. I have some that I've cut away and then hadn't used. So well, that might even be pretty for a let me see. Looks like a little sunflower. Isn't that cute? Now, I will tell you a secret about this here. If you notice, this is a sticker. It's not a rub-on. And I'm sure you can see, yep, you can see how that's shiny. Well, when you put it on the page, unfortunately, it's shiny. And I don't know a way to get rid of that shininess. I don't really care for it on my journals. The shine just looks too, I don't care for it. But I don't know how to get rid of it. But the solution for that is finding some rub-ons that you really like. Look at this pretty, pretty rose. And those will come up matte instead of shiny. Let me find something I like. I guess I should decide what season I'm starting with. And winter will be a challenge. I don't really have anything for winter. Oh, this would be pretty. That might be a fall. But see, I think something like that would be real pretty in the corner. I could put a little piece of tape over it. I could use a little, I'm working on some field note cards for describing the elements you find, and I'm going to have a hard time deciding whether to put them in the journal permanently or leave them loose so that you can attach them as you want. And that would be for these pages here. Or maybe just giving a supply of them, having pockets here that holds them so you can use them as you want in your signature as you're working your way through putting pages on. So, let's just pick one. Actually, you want to know what? I really like this one here. I really like that flower, but I think it's way too tall, so I'm going to cut the bottom off. The other thing I've done with these in the past is you can create little murals with them. You can create whatever you want. This cutting doesn't have to be perfect because, of course, you're going to take and do a rub-on. But you can make use washi and make a little strip there that makes it look like it's taped on, which I find quite lovely, actually. And I love to do that as well. So you peel... that was cut out, peel the back off, put it where you want it. Now remember, you don't have to put all of that. I don't know what that backing is called either. I'm a disaster when it comes to describing what these things are. Anyhow, I could put it right on the edge there. And then I take a little popsicle stick, nothing more than that. I do have a tool that does rub-ons. Should be like this, which works really well as well. And you just rub it on. I'll take a minute to rub this on. So, how was all of your weekends this past weekend? U.S. it's football. That's not soccer. That is U.S. football. And of course, I'm in the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania, so the Steelers are a big draw here. We usually have people over, and this weekend they did play Denver and Broncos, and Steelers won, so my husband was quite happy. And now you can see what this rub-on looks like, and I'll hold it up close. You won't see edges, and you won't see any shininess, and I really like that. So there we have that on there, and I'll probably add a little more. I'll probably do some stenciling on a couple of pages. I have some thin tracing paper here, which I thought was also nice to put in, and try to keep these pages rather plain. I don't intend on putting much on them again. So, nice amount. Seven pages in an envelope. So 7 pages, that's 28 pages front and back. This being 1, this being 2, 3, 4, and so on. So 28 pages per signature. The other thing I had to do, and I should mention here, is when I put the eyelets in, I wanted them away from the top of the book and the bottom of the book, which put them here and here, and that was fine. But it did make my signature a little less tall than I wanted. Like I was expecting a signature maybe this tall, you know, as tall as the book itself. However, I decided that I like these small ones because they fit so nicely in the book. And when you close this up, I also like, and you can do this however you want, but I do like that in the middle. And if you can see where it's at as far as when the book is closed, this front section's closed, signature, and then this back folding section. So you can see all of that. So for today, that's where I'm at with all of these things, and I hope that you'll join me next time. I just wanted to add a few. I worked on it, and I wanted to add a few of the things I was working on to let you know where I'm at. And I'm going to continue on, and then hopefully I'll be back and show you what I've done so far. If you'd like to see how I do it, it's mostly cutting and gluing, cutting and gluing, a little bit of stencil, a little bit of Distress Oxide, and I'm happy to show you. But for now, I'll just let you look at the cute little spine and enjoy. And I would say have a great rest of your day. Do something you love. And if you liked the video, click like. You know, the like and subscribe bit everybody describes when you're on YouTube. Anyway, until we meet again, see you later. Bye-bye.